Welcome to Senior Living Channel. If you're over 60 and struggling with sleep, this might be the most important video you'll watch this year. Let me ask you something honest. Have you ever followed every health rule? Eat clean, take your meds, walk daily, but still lie awake at 2 a.m., wide-eyed and exhausted? You're not alone. Thousands of older adults are suffering silently from senior sleep problems. And most of them don't know why. Here's the part no one tells you. Sometimes it's not aging, it's not stress, it's your medication. Yes, the very pills you trust to protect your heart, your joints, your mood, may be stealing your sleep without you realizing it. And that's terrifying. Because poor sleep isn't just tiring. It affects your memory, weakens your heart, and shortens your life expectancy. But there's good news. In this video, we'll uncover 7 groups of common medications that could be disrupting your sleep and show you how to work with your doctor to fix it safely without giving up the treatment you need. Make sure you stay until the end, because the final medication we reveal might shock you the most. And the last tip? It could help you sleep through the night tonight. Before we begin, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and share in the comments if this feels all too familiar. Let's start with the first medication group, one millions of older adults take daily without ever realizing the hidden cost. Number 1, blood pressure medications, beta blockers. Let's start with one of the most common and most overlooked culprits of sleep disruption in older adults, beta blockers, a type of medication widely prescribed to control high blood pressure risk. Beta blockers such as atenolol, metoprolol, and propranolol are taken by millions of seniors every day. They're essential for protecting your heart. But here's what most people aren't told. These medications can drastically reduce melatonin production, the hormone your brain releases at night to signal that it's time to sleep. If you've been feeling wired but tired, unable to fall asleep, or waking up repeatedly throughout the night, your blood pressure meds may be quietly interfering with your sleep cycle. Mechanism. A 2002 study published in Clinical Pharmacology and Therapeutics found that beta blockers suppress nighttime melatonin production by as much as 80%. Why does that matter? Melatonin doesn't just make you drowsy. It regulates your circadian rhythm, your body's internal sleep-wake clock. Without it, your brain doesn't know when to shut down. Real example. George, 67, had been on atenolol for nearly a year. It was working. His blood pressure was finally stable, but his nights became unbearable. He'd lie in bed exhausted, only to stare at the ceiling until 3 a.m. His doctor initially blamed age, stress, diet. Only later, after George mentioned he started atenolol around the same time the insomnia began, did his physician make the connection. They adjusted the dose and switched to a different class of blood pressure meds. Within 2 weeks, George was sleeping through the night for the first time in months. Solution: if you're on beta blockers and experiencing sleep issues, don't stop your medication suddenly. That could be dangerous. Instead, talk to your doctor about these options. Switching to a medication that doesn't suppress melatonin as strongly, such as calcium channel blockers. Moving your dose to earlier in the day, like breakfast time instead of bedtime. Adding a low-dose melatonin supplement with medical guidance. Benefit the result? Many seniors report deeper, more restful sleep, improved morning energy, and even better memory after adjusting how or when they take these meds. Because here's the truth, you're not crazy, you're not weak, and your body isn't broken. Sometimes the thing that's supposed to help us live longer also makes it harder to rest well. Now, what if I told you that a simple over-the-counter pain reliever could be interfering with your deep sleep in an entirely different way? Let's talk about number 2, NSAIDs like Ibuprofen and Naproxen, and why they might be hurting more than helping. Number 2, NSAIDs, Ibuprofen, Naproxen, and common pain relievers. You've probably taken one of these before bed, maybe even last night. Ibuprofen, Naproxen, aspirin. They're the go-to pain relievers for millions of seniors living with arthritis, back pain, and muscle aches. But what if I told you these familiar pills might be disrupting your sleep in ways no one warned you about? Risk NSAIDs are supposed to help you feel better, but they often come with a hidden cost. They can rob you of the deep healing sleep your body needs most. Many seniors report falling asleep just fine, but waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. feeling restless, hot, or wide awake. That's not aging. It could be inflammation, yes, but it could also be the very medication you're using to fight it. Mechanism according to a 2009 review published in the journal Sleep Medicine Reviews. NSAIDs interfere with the production of prostaglandins, natural chemicals that not only regulate pain and inflammation, but also help control sleep cycles and body temperature during the night. Even worse, NSAIDs may reduce slow-wave sleep, this deepest, most restorative phase of sleep. That's the phase where your brain consolidates memory and your body repairs tissue. Without it, you may wake up feeling foggy, sluggish, and still in pain. Real example, Mary, 72, had been taking Naproxen nightly for years to manage her knee pain. Her pain was better, but her sleep was a disaster. She fell asleep quickly, but woke up every night at 2:30 a.m., like clockwork, drenched in sweat, and unable to fall back asleep. At first, she thought it was hormones or stress, but when her physical therapist asked about her pain medications, a light bulb went off. Together with her doctor, they created a new routine: daytime stretching, light resistance exercises, and using her Naproxen in the early afternoon instead of just before bed. Solution: here's what you can do if you're using NSAIDs. Take your dose earlier in the day, ideally before 3 p.m. Use non-medication strategies in the evening like warm compresses, magnesium soaks, or gentle movement. Talk to your doctor about alternating medications or exploring other anti-inflammatory options that don't disrupt sleep. Benefit: the result for Mary? She kept her pain under control, and for the first time in years, she was sleeping through the night. No more sudden wake-ups, no more early morning exhaustion. Just peaceful, uninterrupted rest. Because here's the emotional truth. Pain doesn't just hurt during the day. It steals your nights, your strength, and your joy. But with the right approach, you don't have to choose between pain relief and quality sleep. Now, what if I told you that a simple allergy pill, something people take without a second thought, could also be behind your restless nights? Let's move on to number 3, antihistamines like Benadryl. And the big myth about sleepy allergy meds? Number 3, antihistamines, Benadryl, diphenhydramine, and sleepy allergy meds. You've probably heard it before. Take a Benadryl before bed, it'll knock you right out. And at first, it seems to work. You fall asleep faster. But weeks later, you're groggy in the morning. You're waking up more during the night. You feel off, and you don't know why. Risk antihistamines like Benadryl, diphenhydramine, chlorpheniramine, and many PM sleep aids are marketed as safe, but in older adults, they come with real risks. Reduced deep sleep, nighttime confusion, increased fall risk, and even long-term memory problems. According to a 2015 study in JAMA Internal Medicine, long-term use of anticholinergic drugs like diphenhydramine is associated with an increased risk of dementia in seniors over time. These drugs aren't just making you sleepy. They're interfering with how your brain rests, recovers, and protects itself. Mechanism: first-generation antihistamines block histamine receptors, which makes you drowsy. But they also block acetylcholine, a brain chemical essential for REM, sleep, memory, and attention. That means these drugs might help you fall asleep. But they also suppress the most important phase of your sleep, the one that repairs your brain. That's why the American Geriatric Society warns against using diphenhydramine in older adults. Real example. Ellen, 71, had trouble falling asleep. After her arthritis flared up, she started taking Tylenol PM every night. It worked for a while. Then came the morning fog. She started forgetting appointments. She once left the stove on. Eventually, her doctor reviewed her meds and flagged the diphenhydramine. They switched to natural pain management in the evening, and within 2 weeks, Ellen's clarity returned. So did her sleep. Solution: if you're using antihistamines regularly, don't stop suddenly, but do talk to your doctor. Ask about safer sleep options like CBTI or low-dose melatonin. Try replacing PM medications with pain relievers that don't include sedating antihistamines. Benefit: you deserve to sleep deeply, naturally, and safely. You deserve to wake up clear, steady, and fully present in your life. And you don't need to depend on a pill that clouds your memory and weakens your brain just to fall asleep. Because here's the emotional truth: you're not sleeping better. You're sedated, and there's a big difference. Now, what if the medication that's meant to help your mood and emotional health is quietly keeping you awake? Let's talk about number 4, antidepressants, and the surprising way they can disrupt your sleep after 60. Number 4. Antidepressants, SSRIs, Bupropion, and more. Antidepressants are meant to lift your mood, ease anxiety, and help you feel stable again. But for many older adults, they come with an unexpected cost: sleepless nights that make everything feel worse. Risk: selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, like Prozac, fluoxetine, Zoloft, sertraline, or Lexapro, escitalopram, are commonly prescribed to seniors for depression, anxiety, or grief. But what doctors don't always explain is that certain antidepressants, especially activating ones, can cause insomnia, restless sleep, vivid dreams, or nighttime anxiety. And here's the worst part: if you don't sleep, your depression often feels even heavier, creating a cycle that's hard to break. Mechanism: antidepressants affect serotonin levels in the brain. While that can boost mood, it can also disrupt REM sleep and increase sleep onset latency, meaning it takes longer to fall asleep. Some, like Bupropion, Wellbutrin, are known to be stimulating, making sleep even more difficult. A 2005 study published in Dialogues in Clinical Neuroscience confirmed that certain SSRIs reduce REM sleep and increase nighttime awakenings, particularly when taken later in the day. For someone already fragile emotionally, poor sleep makes healing even harder. Real example: Henry, 69, started on fluoxetine after losing his brother. Within a week, he noticed more energy during the day, but his nights turned upside down. He couldn't fall asleep. He woke up drenched in sweat, his heart racing. At first, he thought it was grief or age, but his doctor later adjusted his dose and moved it to the morning. The change was almost immediate. Henry began sleeping again, deeper, longer, more peacefully, and for the first time since the funeral, he began to feel like himself again. Solution: if you're taking antidepressants and struggling with sleep, review your medication timing with your doctor. Many SSRIs work better when taken in the morning. Consider switching to a more sedating antidepressant if nighttime anxiety or insomnia persists. Ask about CBT for insomnia, CBTI, as a complementary treatment. It's highly effective, even for patients on antidepressants. Benefit: when sleep and mood are both supported, healing becomes possible. You feel calmer, more balanced. Your emotions feel manageable again, not like a storm you can't control. And best of all, you no longer lie awake wondering if it's you or the pill. Because here's the painful truth: you can't treat depression properly if you're sleep deprived. Sleep is medicine, and every part of your recovery depends on it. Now, What if I told you that one of the most common heart medications taken by millions of seniors might be waking you up not in your head, but in your bladder? Let's move into number 5, diuretics, and how they quietly turn your nights into bathroom marathons. Number 5, diuretics, furosemide, hydrochlorothiazide, and water pills. You've likely been told they're essential for your heart or blood pressure, and they are. But diuretics, often called water pills, may also be turning your nights into a frustrating cycle of bathroom visits and broken sleep. Risk medications like furosemide, Lasix, and hydrochlorothiazide, HCTZ, are prescribed to reduce excess fluid, lower blood pressure, and prevent heart failure complications. But they also stimulate urination, often hours after you take them. And if you're taking them in the late afternoon or evening, that stimulation peaks while you're trying to sleep. The result? You're constantly waking up, feeling pressure in your bladder, shuffling to the bathroom multiple times per night. You lie down again, but your mind is now racing, and sleep is out of reach. Mechanism: diuretics work by signaling your kidneys to release sodium and water through urine. That's helpful for controlling fluid retention, but the timing matters. According to a study published in the Journal of Clinical Hypertension, 2012, seniors taking diuretics later in the day reported significantly more nocturia, nighttime urination, and sleep disturbances than those who took them in the morning. It's not just about comfort. It's about safety. Sleep loss weakens memory and balance, and waking up groggy at 2 a.m. increases your risk of falls and fractures, especially in the elderly. Real example: Martha, 75, had her blood pressure under control, but her nights were a disaster. She'd wake up 2, 3, even 4 times to go to the bathroom. She felt constantly drained, snapping at her grandchildren, forgetting simple things. Her doctor discovered she was taking hydrochlorothiazide around 6 p.m. Once they switched her dose to 9 a.m., her nighttime wake-ups dropped dramatically. She told her daughter, "I didn't realize how exhausted I'd become until I finally slept through the night." Solution: if you're taking a diuretic, ask your doctor about adjusting the timing, preferably to morning or early afternoon. Avoid fluid-heavy meals or drinks close to bedtime. Use nightlights and slip-proof mats to prevent injury if you do wake. Track your sleep and bathroom patterns, then share that log with your physician. Benefit: restoring continuous sleep doesn't just help you feel rested. It gives you back your focus, your energy, and your mood. You'll feel less foggy, less irritated, more yourself. And you're no longer ruled by your bladder, because here's the emotional truth: you can't rest, recover, or even dream if you're constantly being dragged out of bed by your own body. Now, let's move on to a group of medications that don't wake you up to move your body. They stimulate your brain so much, you can't turn it off at all. Coming up, number 6, corticosteroids, and why they keep your mind running long after your body wants to rest. Number 6, corticosteroids, prednisone, dexamethasone, and inflammation meds. You may have taken them for arthritis, inflammation, asthma, or even after surgery. Corticosteroids like prednisone or dexamethasone are powerful medications, but their power doesn't stop when the sun goes down. For many seniors, these medications are the reason why they feel wired at midnight, staring at the ceiling, desperate for sleep that never comes. Risk corticosteroids reduce inflammation, and for conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, they can be life-changing, but they're also well known for causing insomnia, vivid dreams, nighttime anxiety, and restlessness. The paradox? Your body is exhausted, but your brain won't stop running. This isn't just trouble sleeping. It's a full-body contradiction, needing rest, but feeling like your mind is on high alert. And over time, the chronic loss of sleep can damage your mood, your memory, and your immune system. Mechanism: corticosteroids mimic cortisol, your body's natural stress hormone. When taken during the day, they help reduce pain and inflammation. But if taken too late, or in too high a dose, they raise cortisol levels at the wrong time, disrupting your circadian rhythm and delaying melatonin production. A 2008 article in Psychoneuroendocrinology found that corticosteroids elevate nighttime cortisol, leading to fragmented, low-quality sleep, especially in older adults. Real example Ronald, 68, was prescribed prednisone for severe inflammation. Within days, his pain improved, but his nights fell apart. He would fall asleep at 11 p.m. only to wake at 1 a.m., his mind racing, heart pounding, unable to go back to bed. His wife said, "It was like someone flipped on a switch in his brain." After consulting his doctor, they shifted the dosage to early morning, added light daily walking, and tapered off the dose gradually. Within 2 weeks, Ronald's sleep stabilized, and so did his mood. Solution: if you're taking corticosteroids and experiencing sleep problems, ask your doctor if the dose can be taken earlier in the day. Ideally before 9 a.m., discuss tapering down. If symptoms allow, never stop abruptly without guidance. Incorporate gentle exercise and calming evening habits to counteract cortisol naturally, like stretching, journaling, or warm showers. Benefit: when your cortisol drops at the right time, your body feels safe to rest. You stop feeling like you're battling your own biology. You regain mental calm, emotional control, and deep, uninterrupted sleep. Because here's the hard truth: it's not normal to feel alert at 2 a.m. when your body is crying for rest. If your medication is waking up your nervous system, it's time to take back control with knowledge, not just willpower. And finally, let's talk about one more group of medications. They're designed to help people with Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, but they can also cause nightmares, confusion, and sleeplessness you'd never expected. Coming up, number 7, cognitive disorder medications and the nighttime chaos they can quietly create. Number 7, cognitive disorder medications, Donepezil, Levodopa, and more. Imagine spending your day fighting to hold on to your memories, only to have your mind betray you when the lights go out. For many older adults with Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, this is the heartbreaking reality of certain medications designed to protect the brain, but that unravel the night. Risk drugs like Donepezil, Aricept, galantamine, and Levodopa are commonly prescribed to slow cognitive decline, but one of their most overlooked side effects is nighttime chaos, intense, terrifying dreams, sudden nighttime confusion, acting out during sleep, wandering out of bed, not knowing where or who you are. What's worse, it doesn't just impact the person taking the medication, it breaks the heart and sleep of everyone who loves and cares for them. Many caregivers silently suffer through sleepless nights, terrified that their loved one might fall, escape the house, or forget who they are in the dark. Mechanism: these medications increase acetylcholine, which helps with memory, but also stimulates the brain during REM sleep, the dreaming phase. A 2010 study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine confirmed that Donepezil increases REM density, which correlates with frequent, vivid, and often disturbing dreams when taken at night. For a brain already struggling to find balance, this overstimulation becomes too much. Real example Clara, 73, was taking Donepezil for early-stage Alzheimer's. During the day, she was calm, responsive, hopeful. But at night, everything changed. She screamed in her sleep, accused her husband of being a stranger. One night, she tried to walk out the front door in a panic. Her husband broke down in tears in the doctor's office and whispered, "She forgets. Me in the dark." The neurologist listened carefully, then made one simple change. Take the medication at 9 a.m. instead of 8 p.m. Within a week, the dreams faded. The midnight confusion slowed. Her husband cried again, but this time in relief. Solution: If you or someone you love is taking these medications, ask the doctor about changing the timing. Morning is often safer than night. Create evening calm, dim lights, quiet music, a predictable routine. Use safety tools, motion detectors, door alarms, and soft lighting to prevent injury. Benefit: when the brain is gently supported, not overstimulated at night, both safety and dignity are preserved. Loved ones rest easier. The person affected feels more grounded, more present, even in moments of fragility. Because here's the emotional truth. No one should be forced to choose between memory by day and madness by night. And with the right guidance, you don't have to. So what do we do now? Now that we've exposed these 7 hidden triggers of senior sleep problems, let's pull it all together. In the final section, we'll give you the tools to take action and reclaim the deep, healing rest you deserve. It's easy to blame aging, to think this is just what happens after 65. But let me say this clearly, it's not always your age that's stealing your sleep. Sometimes it's the very medication you take every day, believing it's helping you. Sleep isn't a luxury. It's not something you have to earn. It's a basic human right, a necessity, a foundation for every healthy, joyful day you still have ahead. And if poor sleep is making you feel weak, foggy, or emotionally drained, you deserve to know why and how to fix it. The good news is, you don't have to stop taking your medications. You don't have to suffer in silence. Sometimes just changing the time you take your pills, switching to a different formulation, or discussing alternatives with your doctor can give you back the deep, healing sleep your body craves. So, don't be afraid to speak up. Bring what you've learned today into your next doctor's visit. Because the more you understand your body, the more power you have to protect it. Now I want to hear from you. Are you currently taking any of the medications we talked about today? Have you noticed changes in your sleep since starting them? Share your experience in the comments. You're not alone, and your story might help someone else feel seen, heard, and supported. And if this video opened your eyes, even just a little, tap that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications. In our next video, we'll reveal 5 simple evening habits that help seniors sleep soundly, naturally, and without relying on medication. You won't want to miss it.